Today, we're going to talk about something very, very spooky. Bah! Did I get you? Did I get you? Betcha you weren't expecting that. Well, apologies for the prank, but happy Halloween. Yeah, I do want to talk about something that's scary, though, and it's not scaring you with a Michael Myers mask, even though I do enjoy a good spooky prank. That's why I have this costume, because with the team of people that I work with, I'm the guy who will set up elaborate pranks and like pop out and scare people. I think that stuff's pretty fun. But I do want to talk about something spooky, and that is the Pokemon card market crashing, because everyone on YouTube, everyone everywhere, now that we've seen a little bit of a drawback in the market, everyone's talking about things going to zero. Everyone's investments are going to be worthless. The market is having a complete retrace. Pretty soon, all of these sets that have been printed over the past bit are going to be readily available. You just walk yourself into Target, into Walmart, into wherever you buy Pokemon cards, and there they will be in the card section, lining up these shelves. You'll be able to get whatever you'd like, no problem. I don't think that's going to be the case, but the prospect of that is spooky to some of you guys, especially if you're in the business space, and I don't even think it should be spooky for you. So those are the things we're going to talk about in this video. But in this video, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. By the way, if this is your first time here, my name's TJ. What's up? I run a business called PokePastor TCG. I buy and sell tons of Pokemon cards from this basement here in Minnesota, and I give you guys tips on this channel of how to do the same, primarily on a platform called TCGplayer. My guess is if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar. But if you subscribe to the channel and you like this video and you leave a comment down below, you have a chance to win, speaking of Halloween, spooky, this Trainer Gallery Gengar from Lost Origin. So I'll be giving that away in this video. So I love this card. I wish I had a cooler Gengar to give away. This is really one of the only Gengars I have. So best of luck to you guys. Leave something down below. Happy Halloween. I did like pumpkin carvings with my crew tonight, which we don't even have a pumpkin carving knife, so I'm just here using a steak knife. It was a disaster, but it was an experience with the family. Anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about the Pokemon card market. So the first thing I'd like to say as it relates to this is I don't think things are crashing. It doesn't take a economic expert to know that there has been a crazy run-up in things over the past couple of months. Sometimes, depending on the product you're looking at, we're seeing a drive up in price of maybe 30, 40, 50% of a specific item, specific set, specific box over the past few months, which is crazy. Kind of, I would say, unsustainable. So to think that we're going to see a 10, 15, 20, maybe even 25% cool off in some of these items for a small period of time is, I think, reasonable. In fact, Alpha Investments Rudy, if you guys watch any of his content, he's kind of like the go-to person that people point to in the trading card world. He said that, it's not, his prediction is that there would be a stagnation, or things would go relatively sideways from now until Christmas, basically. But even in giving you guys some of my expertise on the TCGplayer side of things, the end of October, like the middle to the end of October, all the way up until Cyber Weekend on TCGplayer, stuff is pretty slow. Like even some of these pro seller TCGplayer groups that I'm in on Facebook, I've seen people, newer people, be like, hey, like my sales have completely stymied. Like, is anyone else experiencing the same thing? And so for people who've been doing this for multiple seasons, yes, like this is relatively normal up until the holiday season. So my prediction, my true prediction, now again, I'm not no expert, but this is what I think. I think we will see, obviously we've seen this little bit of a cool off. I think we'll see things stagnate a little bit and just kind of, we'll ride the wave for a little while. And then come Cyber Weekend, so Black Friday weekend, we'll see a spike up like we always do with a sale like that. And then we might see prices continue to raise, continue to appreciate up until Christmas and the holiday season. And then going into 2026 with the anniversary, 30th anniversary, we'll see what happens, right? Like it could be more hype, could be prices climbing again. But my honest prediction is I don't think we will see the Walmart shelves, the Target shelves. Like if I could go and get some groceries at Walmart and bop over to the trading card aisle and pick myself up an ETB, hey, that sounds pretty cool, or some tins and have some fun with that stuff. That sounds pretty sweet. I don't see that being the case. Especially when we're seeing videos even still, of the new sets coming out and Phantasmal Flames, the next set, I don't think it's going to be any better, of scalpers, people going in and buying grips of stuff. We're talking booster bundle displays, like several of them, and just taking them to the front of the store, checking out, going and being able to flip those because they can. I don't see that going away anytime soon. But again, I could be wrong. So I don't think that's anything to really be scared about. I think it's a correction, not a crash. Once again, my opinion. Now, speaking of scalpers, let's talk about this. The coolest thing about having a reselling business where you're buying and selling primarily from the secondary market is that you don't have to be scared of the market going down. You don't. I mean, the idea is for you to be turning your inventory over relatively frequently, right? So in theory, you shouldn't be holding on to a tremendous amount of stuff. So as the market goes down, you've been selling cards hopefully this whole time. Also, as things do go down, that means that if you're always buying, which I do think you always should be buying, if you are in this space, you should never not be buying. People's sentiment on wanting to hold on to stuff is going to go down because people panic. People panic really easily. People get spooked really easily, right? And once the sentiment changes from, hey, Pokemon, it's just going to go up all the time, all the time, all the time, you're going to see a lot more sellers enter into the space. And all of a sudden, where you've been scraping and having a really, really hard time buying collections, even for 75%, as things kind of cool off, 70% will get more attractive, even sometimes under 70%, depending on what it is. So that's something for you to consider. And as long as you're buying and selling stuff quickly, whatever the market is doing, you should be fine. Just don't hold on to stuff forever, right? I always say between 3 to 6 months is ideally when I'd like to see stuff absolutely gone by. But most of the stuff, the higher end stuff that I end up listing, goes within a month, I'd say. It's pretty rare for me to have expensive cards on me for longer than a month. I list them and they get sold pretty quick. So if your business is dependent, though, on going in to a retail place, clearing off the shelves, filling up your cart, taking it home, and putting it up on eBay or TCGplayer or just selling it locally in Facebook groups, if that's what your business is dependent on, then yes, you should absolutely be afraid of the market going down, because the only way that you're able to acquire inventory is by going into Walmarts and Targets and other places and scalping, right? So yes, like those people, if you've got a business like that, I don't think that's, it's not looking super good for your long-term success as a business. But I've done business in the reselling space before things got crazy. And to be honest, I kind of preferred it then. Things were kind of nice. You didn't have to fight tooth and nail to get cards at 75 or 70%, because people just, if they had large collections with hundreds, sometimes thousands of individual cards, there weren't that many people trying to make a quick profit. So as the market does go down, what that is going to do is it will weed out some of the people who are exclusively able to make money in this space, because the hype is here, because everyone's just like, oh, I'm going to buy it. And then by the time I sell it, it'll gone up 20 bucks. So like, sick. People are going to have to weather the storm. So I don't think that you have anything to be afraid of. I think if you have a legitimate reselling business, you've got some good systems in place, you know how to list cards, you know how to get cards out, you know how to provide people with good customer service, and maybe even like you're following the advice that I'm giving you and you're working on building some kind of online brand where people are able to interact with you and start to get to know you, and you're able to sell directly to them at, less, whether you have your own website or you use the pro seller site TCGplayer style, I think you'll be just fine. But I have noticed just in some of the YouTube spaces, everyone is kind of panicking. Everyone is kind of getting spooked. And it's not because some idiot pastor popped out with a Michael Myers mask randomly, but because they think that the Pokemon market might be crashing. So again, in summary, I don't think it's crashing. And even if it is, I think that you are going to be just fine. I think I'm going to be just fine. So that's what I have to give you guys in this video. Little fun Halloween spook for you. Again, if you want to win this card, make sure to leave a comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I cannot believe that we are so close to 4,000 subscribers already. That's crazy. But hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I believe that Jesus loves you, that he has an incredible plan for your life. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.